everybody, welcome back to my channel, Eat More Plants with Me. If you haven't had a chance yet to hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do that and click the bell so you'll be notified anytime I release a new video. I know I've been a little bit sporadic since I've started this thing on YouTube, but I'm trying to get on a regular schedule, so I've been thinking about having my day be Sunday when I release videos, so that might help you guys know when to expect something. But let's get to it. So today's video is about making a copycat Starbucks drink. We are going to be recreating, but making a vegan matcha latte frappuccino that Starbucks carries, except we will be making it better. The story behind this video is that my niece was spending a couple nights with me last week. She is a rising junior in high school, and she was taking an SAT class or SAT camp. It was all day for 2 weeks, and it was really close to my house. So I was lucky enough to have her stay with me, and I wanted to make something that I knew she'd like, and the teenagers like their little frappy icy drinks from Starbucks. So I wanted to, make it in a way where it was similar, but just better. And she appreciates stuff like that. So she actually liked my first version. I think I made it like 3 or 4 times before I perfected it to at least my satisfaction. So we'll see what you guys think about it. The ingredients are very basic, very simple. It's a matcha latte, so you need some matcha. This is the brand that I've been labeled. Here it is. It's spelled D-O, Do Matcha. It is processed in Japan. It's organic. I found it on Amazon. It's a bit pricey, but I think it's true that you pay for the quality when it comes to matcha. There's even different types of matcha. There is ceremonial matcha, and then there's culinary matcha. The ceremonial one is the one that you would really want if you're just drinking straight, matcha tea hot. If you are gonna be cooking with it, like what we're doing today, then the food grade one is fine. You're gonna throw it in the blender, make a smoothie, or you can make these cookies. I make these matcha cookies made with tahini and maple syrup, and they're really good. Food grade is just fine for that. And I don't know if you're really familiar with what matcha is. It's definitely popular. If it's in Starbucks, it's trendy. But matcha is the same thing as green tea. It is green tea. The only difference is that the leaves in matcha are picked earlier than green tea, so they're more tender leaves grown in the shade, and when they're blended, the leaves are blended, the components of matcha are even better than green tea. So I read somewhere if you drink 1 cup of matcha, it would be equivalent to drinking 10 cups of green tea in terms of antioxidants that you consume. So that's awesome. And then everything that green tea has that's considered a benefit is the same for matcha. The metabolism boosting, the cancer prevention, the caffeine. What else about matcha? Oh, the reason why I really like this to make for Maya and my niece is because, she's already like 300 feet tall, right? But I still don't want caffeine to stunt her growth and her development. And so the amount of caffeine in matcha is a little bit, it's a different type of caffeine than coffee. It's not jittery. It also promotes relaxation without making you tired. It is also really good for enhancing your focus, which I thought would be really good for her since she needed that for SAT prep. So let's run through our ingredients really quickly. We already mentioned and talked about the matcha. Then there's ice, which you don't need to see me holding the ice, but there's ice. There is almond milk, or any kind of milk you want to use. This is just the one that I usually keep in the house. And if you want to learn how to make your own almond milk, I have a video for that too, so I'll put that link up there in a minute. Avocado, which is what I realized was the secret ingredient to really make this gel together and have a nice texture. Optional if you want, you can put a little bit of vanilla in there, and sweetener, because it is for the kids. I think this actually tastes okay without it, but you could use, if you consume honey, you could just put a little squirt of honey. Maple syrup is what I used for my niece, and I put in a couple tablespoons. So it's basically up to you and your preference. Now that we know what matcha is and you know what's gonna go in it, let's hurry up and make this drink. And you'll see how easy it is. It's so fast. It's something you could do in the morning before you go to school. So I have a cup of milk here that I'm gonna add into the blender. And to that milk, I'm gonna add our secret ingredient, the avocado. So this is 1/4 of an avocado. My mom always told me to add this to smoothies, and my friend Stephanie from work, she also suggested it too when I told her the first version I made was kind of like a matcha Slurpee. Now we have another cup of ice. But then I also have some left over here just in case the consistency isn't that good. I have it to add to make it a little bit more icy. We need our star ingredient, the matcha, which I left in the cabinet, so let me go get it. Back. So we're gonna put 1 teaspoon of matcha. Like I said, it's caffeine still, but it's a better caffeine than coffee just because coffee, like, it lasts a couple hours, that buzz, right? It lasts like, I don't know, what, 2-3 hours, and then you have that crash. Matcha lasts longer. I think it lasts like 4 to 6 hours, and you're kind of coasting the whole way through. You don't feel that like coming down off of a high, a caffeine high. So we have our matcha, we have our milk, we have our ice, we have our avocado, gonna put in our sweetener. So this is the main way I think we make the recipe like Starbucks but better. It's because the first ingredient in the Starbucks drink is sugar, the first ingredient. So we are just kind of adding sweetener to taste. So this is for my niece. I will put 2 tablespoons in there. But really, it's up to you. It's your preference. You might like it sweeter. You might like it less sweet. Either way, it's still better than what they put in the Starbucks drink. And also, if you eat honey, if you consume honey, the honey worked really well in here too. Just a couple squirts. I didn't even put that much. Now, the real secret ingredient, like the avocado is awesome for giving it like a creamy, smooth consistency, but what makes it really good is, I forgot to tell you in the beginning of the video, is I use, can you see that? Yeah, Moringa. That's like the other new trendy thing that people talk about, but it's a really good plant. I grew up eating the vegetable. We call them drumsticks in English because they grow like this and they're long like drumsticks. They're really yummy. If you're not familiar with Moringa, I'll put a link to it in the description, but it's really good for you. And we are good. Optional, if you want, you can put some vanilla. I say like 1/2 teaspoon. I don't think it really needs much, so that's why I say it's also optional. So I'll put 1/2 teaspoon in there. And I think we are good to go. If I was making this for myself, I would even add sesame seeds and this fermented maca, because I think all those things really, like, you don't taste them individually in the smoothie. It's just icy and yummy. It just tastes good. All right, so let's get to blending. Okay, so adding that little bit of ice, I think, made the difference. I could tell just by looking at it through here that it was kind of liquidy. Now that I put the ice in there, it's got a thicker consistency. I was gonna pull it out and like put it in front of the camera and show it to you, but I tried that earlier, and one for the blooper reel because it all fell out. Not all, some of it fell out. But the good thing is this recipe is enough for 2 servings, or like 1 really big cup if you have one of those, what are those? You know, those like insulated cups, one of those big ones. But I'm just gonna pour it in our glass here, and you can see how delicious this is. Ooh, so even when spilling, I still have myself a big cup. So, let's see. That's really good. It's healthy, it's delicious. It's like having like a milkshake, like an ice cream drink in the morning, but it's not overly sweet. It's just really good. I'm gonna enjoy this. I'm gonna go sit outside and drink it. Well, have a great day, guys, and please tune in for our next video.